Hello everyone, and welcome to what could be the beginning of the end for Inside Super Mario Odyssey, if Nintendo doesn't announce DLC or whatever. As such, we have teamed up with Dr. Wily to share in this first of several specials, our top 5 kingdoms inside Super Mario Odyssey, though we warn of some really heavy spoilers. So without further ado, let's go! Or as Charles Martinet says,
to all my friends at Commonwealth Realm, it's me, Mario. Woohoo! Mamma mia, you number one. Ha ha!
September's Nintendo Direct and later gameplay previews spoiled one of the most interesting kingdoms. Something they clearly shouldn't have done, as Bubble Lane in the Seaside is basically Isle Delfino from Super Mario Sunshine with a little nipples-filled French twist. Sun, check. Sandy beaches with quirky inhabitants, the Bubblanians? Check. A sea filled with small islands? Check. Besides capturable Cheep Cheeps like in the Lake Kingdom, terrifying Maw Rays, walking Komboos, the Seaside Kingdom has a brand new Mario enemy, the Gushin. These squid-like creatures, when captured by Cappy, closely imitate Mario's companion Flood from Super Mario Sunshine through their ability to propel Mario upwards and forward for a limited time until they run out of water.
This gameplay mechanic makes traversing the sea into a breeze and made it possible for Nintendo's Tokyo team to create one of the most unique boss fights in the Mario series, the one and only Brigadier Mollusk Lancoeur III. Yes, the Seaside Kingdom makes this list mostly for its memorable boss fight, and the fact that it is a refreshing soda-based seaside setting after a giant metropolis or a snow kingdom, and with much deeper layer than you could possibly imagine upon arrival. This is your last warning, as here comes the first big spoiler. Ready? Okay, let's do this. So many kingdoms were spoiled ahead of Odyssey's release by Nintendo that we were basically only left with a few boss kingdoms, the moon, and what is the by far most awesome hideout for Bowser.
Despite this kingdom being the most linear next to the Cap Kingdom, Bowser's Kingdom bursts with Japan's unreal historical, cultural, military, architectural, and even technical heritage. Like, you can see Princess Peach in a kimono and dress Mario in the samurai armor that series creator Miyamoto wore on Jimmy Fallon. Needless to say, Bowser's Kingdom is a visual festival of color and sound that, luckily, has no timer, so you can take in the beauty and soundtrack accompanying this kingdom. After spending some time in what is the Mario team's recreation of feudal Japan, it is time to capture one of the best enemies in the game, the Pokio Bird. With this challenging beak-poking creature, Mario can finally reach some of the more challenging moons found in the game and face off for a second time against Topper and Harriet. But 2 mediocre boss fights would definitely not be satisfying for this kingdom. But fear not, as the Broodals return and team up in the Wooden Robo Brood, which is basically a giant wooden mech that you take down with a captured Pokio. If that wasn't enough, this boss boasts one of the very best tracks in the game. Ah, Nintendo, you never disappoint.
One of the kingdoms that we knew was present on the world map for a long while is the home of Princess Peach. However, what we didn't know was how massive and packed with references the Mushroom Kingdom would be. To say frankly, in our Inside Super Mario Odyssey episode on all the kingdoms we knew at that point, we thought that the Mushroom Kingdom would be a linear opening level. Well, that honor, despite the Mushroom Kingdom's presence in the opening cutscene, was left to the Cap Kingdom, and we couldn't be more satisfied with this outcome.
As the Mushroom Kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey is the perfect non-linear post-game bonus. That's right, In this kingdom, you can collect the different moons, or more specifically stars, in any order you like. And unsurprisingly, the Mushroom Kingdom is the kingdom with the most moons in the game, even though nearly half of them are handed to you by Toadette as in-game achievements. Even so, Peach's domain has been heavily expanded from Super Mario 64, and the callbacks to the first mainline 3D Mario are constantly thrown at you in the form of polygonal Super Mario 64 hat and outfit, capturable Yoshi on the castle rooftop, a moon hidden in the castle courtyard with Nintendo 64 graphics. I see that we don't have much more space for this slot, but let us just say that the Mushroom Kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey isn't only a celebration of Mario's first adventure, as here you find callbacks to classic NES Mario and even Super Mario World. This kingdom has to be experienced, as it is the best iteration of Peach's castle and kingdom in any Mario game.
Oh, and you can replay a number of the bosses found in the game at a higher difficulty for more moons. What more could you ask for?
I don't think there is any place in the game that is nearly as big as the Sand Kingdom. Of course, size doesn't always matter, but there is still a ton to do in the land of Tostarena. It's arguably the closest land that represents a true open-world environment. The widespread sandy plains give an overwhelming sense of scale, meaning it'll take a long time to simply walk across this desert. Never fear though, Jaxi is here and he is the definition of blazing fast, and will destroy all who stand in his way. The majority of enemies found in the Sand Kingdom are your traditional Mario foes, especially the Bullet Bills, who are a huge help when it comes to traversing Tostarena's ruins. These ruins offer some great 3D and 2D platforming, but be careful of those lasers. They can pierce through the toughest of stone. However, the hottest, or rather coolest tourist spot in this area is the Upside Down Pyramid, which can be found floating mid-air amongst the desert.
Inside, you'll find the weather to be quite the opposite of what it is outside. That's because our large-fisted fiend, Knuckleotech, likes it cold. Just guess who his favorite Sonic character is. His boss battle is a fun one, by using his own hands against him. After all that is settled, you can take a stroll down the quiet village, or visit the outskirts, where you'll find an oasis, a temple, or a floating island with a couple of moais wearing sunglasses.
The Sand Kingdom is no doubt the largest kingdom covered by land, even if most of it is a scorching desert. Still, it gives us an idea on what a true open-world Mario game could be like in the grand scheme of things. Now, before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. From the reveal trailer at the Nintendo Switch presentation to this day, the Metro Kingdom still leaves us a lasting impression. After all, how on earth could a photorealistic city work in a series that relies on cartoon whimsicality? It shouldn't have worked, but it did. New Donk City doesn't cover a whole lot of ground, but it makes up for it with layers upon layers of building structures, each with their own set of puzzles and secrets. Mario quite literally turns into Spider-Man when he climbs up these buildings and swings on the light posts. In charge of the city is Mayor Pauline, somewhat of Mario's ex-girlfriend, who doesn't even seem to remember him when he arrives to witness the city in turmoil. Upon his arrival, a Mecha Wiggler terrorizes the city, causing an epic boss fight, which rewarded him with the Metro Kingdom at its peak. There are no enemies in this city, except when you go on the outskirts to take on some moon challenges, or even underneath a manhole cover. The sewers are pretty much just a hive for piranha plants, so I wouldn't even go down there. Other than that, the city truly never sleeps, as there is always something going on around every corner.
A citizen struggles with an RC car, there's a jump rope in the park, and a sad little man sits on a bench contemplating his life. And there is still more to these city streets than meets the eye. Buildings leave their doors open to entrances to elaborate puzzles and challenges, like getting chased by a T-Rex wearing an aviator hat for some reason. Or better yet, let Mario show off his gymnastics by swinging on poles. Where New Donk City truly shines, however, is the festival, where 40-year-old men and women cried sweet tears of nostalgia. It is no contest. The Metro Kingdom is truly the best place Mario Odyssey has to offer.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, are our top 5 kingdoms inside Super Mario Odyssey. A very special thanks goes to our patrons, including royal producers Transcendent Sacred Courage and Kenyatta Ali, for their generous contributions to the realm. We would like to thank our friend Dr. Wily for joining us on this episode. We also joined him in his video showcasing the top 5 bosses in the game, so you should definitely check that out right now. In the meantime, this has been the Commonwealth Realm, and we will see you girls and guys soon.